And a very good evening to you. Welcome to Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha, Arora. Of course, as we tell you tonight's top stories, the first day of the third month, that is March of 2024. And remember, if you are tuned in from anywhere in Kenya, please do talk to us. The hashtag is Easy Friday. Let us know where you are watching from. The sign language interpreter, as I said, is Byron Abuli. And of course, it's time to take you directly for tonight's highlights. A fatal crash. 2 people dead, 8 injured in a grisly Busia head-on collision accident between a fuel tanker and a bus. Which is which? Raila Odinga says he is not exiting the country's political scene despite eyeing the apolitical AU Commission's top seat. Kenya and Haiti formalize agreement on deployment of 1,000 Kenya police officers. Welcome to Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha Arora and you are watching KBC Channel 1. Now, tonight's top story. Kenya and Haiti have signed a formal agreement that will see the deployment of 1,000 police officers to the multinational security support mission in the Caribbean nation. President William Ruto and Haiti Prime Minister Ariel Henry, who is in the country, witnessed the signing of the agreement at State House, Nairobi. But as the Interior Minister Kithure Kindiki and Alex Richard, the Secretary General of the Council of Ministers, were putting pen to paper, Haiti was on edge following a siege at the main international airport staged by gangs. Take a look.
Haiti Prime Minister Ariel Henry jetted into the country on Wednesday evening as a man on a mission. Henry was in Kenya to meet President William Ruto to conclude arrangements for the deployment of a multinational force to Port-au-Prince to be led by Kenya. The two leaders on Friday witnessed the signing of a formal agreement that will see Kenya deploy 1,000 police officers for the mission.
It is a mission for humanity. It is a mission in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Haiti. We, as Kenya, together with our brothers and sisters from different countries who have graciously accepted to be part of this mission, to contribute police officers, to contribute equipment, to contribute other facilities, including financial resources, are responding to the cry of children who want to go to school, of women who want to go to hospital and find medicine.
What we could promise you is that we are going to do our best for the success of this mission. It's not an usual mission. According to what I know, it's the first time that a kind of mission is taking place. We'll do all our effort for the Kenyan.
The arrangement, according to a dispatch from State House, complies with a court ruling by the High Court Judge Chacha Mwita, who ruled that officers can only be deployed in a reciprocal instrument. President Ruto and Prime Minister Henry further discussed steps to enable the fast tracking of the deployment, with Kenya reiterating its commitment to contribute to the succession of the multinational security support mission. The United Nations Security Council in October last year approved the deployment of a multinational security mission into Haiti to help curb escalating gang violence in the Caribbean country. But as respective ministers were putting pen to paper on the deal, gangs were laying siege at Haiti's main international airport. In a daring raid, the gangs also staged attacks on police stations and other government offices. The gang leader claims he intends to capture the country's police chief and ministers. John Jacob Curia, Easy Friday.
Now, 2 people have died and 8 others are nursing injuries following a grisly road accident at Mundika in Busia County. The accident occurred after a fuel tanker burst into flames after colliding head-on with a Tahmid bus. According to witnesses, the tanker lost control while trying to overtake a saloon car but hit the bus, leading to the fatal crash. Busia County Commissioner Chaunga Mwachaunga lauded response teams for acting swiftly to quell the flames and save lives. Take a look.
Friday, the 1st of March 2024 will end in tragedy for passengers aboard a Tahmid bus headed to Kisumu from Busia following a deadly collision with an oil tanker. 2 people will die in an inferno after the tanker burst into flames, while 8 others sustained burn wounds, with others suffering from inhalation of the dark fumes from the fire. Busia County Referral Medical Superintendent Emma Namulala said majority of the patients had multiple injuries. However, 1 patient with severe head injuries had been rushed to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital for specialized treatment.
The co-driver to the Tahmid bus had multiple injuries, and of note is that the patient suffered head injury. Although we've been able to stabilize the patient, but he's on referral, we want him to be taken to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital for further investigations and further management by the neurosurgical team in MTRH. We have a small child who is about 8 years in outpatient who has also been seen. We've done x-rays and seems to have just soft tissue injury, has mild abdominal pain, and also has pains at the chest. Otherwise, they are stable.
Busia County Commissioner Chaunga Mwachaunga lauded the rescue team for responding promptly.
Our rescue agencies in the county were able to respond to that particular disaster incident in a record time. Our fire engines were able to reach on time to put out the fire, and even private water bowsers within this town were able to join the rescue efforts.
Area residents now want the Kenya National Highway Authority (KENHA) to upgrade the state of the roads within the county, arguing heavy trucks ply the route on a daily basis.
Sisi hatuna barabara, barabara ni ndogo. Sisi tutafanya namna gani? Hapa mahali kwenye accident inafanyika, kila siku accident inafanyika.
Tunajaribu kuomba serikali kuu pamoja na county government itupanulie hii barabara kutoka town vile ilianza mpaka Bumala. Cha pili, tunahitaji bumps kwa hii ni shule. Sasa ingekuwa saa hii imelipuka, petrol station iko pale. Kitu ya kwanza, sijui kwa nini waliruhusu petrol station kwa karibu na shule.
Timothy Kipnusu for Easy Friday.
Now, Busia County Governor Paul Otuoma visited the scene earlier on, and this is what he had to say.
Which involves tankers. Don't rush, allow the emergency people to do their work, because it is so dangerous. It's just lucky that the tanker didn't blow up, as I had said. Secondly, we are also aware that this is a major road, and we want to urge all concerned parties. This is a very important corridor for Eastern Central African trade, but you have seen this road is really worn out. And it's so narrow, it's worn out, and it is becoming a hazard. So we'll also be urging and engaging the national government to see what measures can be done for this corridor, because we have got 2 main corridors here that deal with the Eastern Central African trade. That is the Malaba-Eldoret corridor and the Kisumu-Busia corridor. But this road, I think, from the 70s has just been patched up, and the kind of traffic that we are now having, it needs to be done. I know there were efforts, some negotiations with African Development Bank, but we need to move with speed to avoid such tragedies and also to promote trade. That's what I can say for now, but it's my condolences for those who have lost their beloved ones, and we wish those who are in hospital quick recovery. And we are doing everything possible as a county government here to make sure that they are being attended to.
Of course, those are remarks from Busia County Governor Paul Otuoma, who visited the scene earlier on. Condolences to those who've lost their lives in this grisly car accident. All right, now moving on. Medics will down their tools effective midnight tonight as pressure mounts on the government to post medical interns, pay school fees for postgraduate students, and take action against a police officer accused of shooting a union official. In a turn of events, several other unions within and outside the medical profession have also threatened to join the nationwide strike, demanding the Inspector General of Police taking action against the officer for shooting. KMPDU Secretary General Dr. Davji Attila. Nancy Okware with details of the deepening health crisis that could see operations at all public hospitals ground to a halt.
It is the events of Thursday leading to the shooting of KMPDU Secretary General Dr. Davji Attila that appear to have irked the medics, who have since opted to speed up the timeline for the strike notice.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
In spelling out their demands, the medics, who are joined by union leaders from across the divide, have since issued an ultimatum to the Inspector General of Police to institute disciplinary action against the police officer accused of shooting the KMPDU Secretary General, or risk a nationwide strike on their hands.
We want to advise our patients to start packing and moving out of all the hospitals from all the corners of this country, in both private and public. We will be out of those hospitals up until our demands are met, and they're met in full.
If we will not have this demand acceded to, every single doctor in Kenya is going to walk out of every single facility in this country from midnight tonight.
Additionally, the union is demanding an apology from the Interior Cabinet Secretary to the Kenyan doctors, as well as immediate posting of the medical interns and payment of all school fees for postgraduate students.
Medical internship is the most important period in the practice of a doctor's life, medical internship. And while they are learning, they are working. Medicine is not like any other internship, where maybe you go sit on a table, someone tells you what to do. Medical internship, you are actually providing the service.
Before any doctor is licensed, they have to do a compulsory internship. So they have not been able to practice, to fend for themselves for the last 8 months, waiting for posting.
So on Monday, let the policemen prepare, because now we are coming in large numbers. You thought it was doctors only. Now all the public sector unions plus the private sector unions are going to march to the Ministry of Health and the National Treasury.
Solidarity forever.
The calls to honor the medics strike appear to have resonated with their members across the counties.
We know so well that if we stop services at public institutions and then we leave private institutions, those with money will go to the private institutions. For this suffering to be reduced, then we must stop services in both the public and the private institutions.
So the demonstration that was being conducted by the doctors' interns were very peaceful and unprovocative. And there was no reason or justification for the attack that was meted out to Dr. Davji.
But as the medics were issuing ultimatums in Nairobi, Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Nakhumicha was in Narok County for the commissioning of the Talek Maternal Newborn and Child Health and the Daktari Smart Telemedicine platform. Nakhumicha opted to steer clear of the subject, instead noting the Social Health Insurance Fund will be a game changer in realization of UHC.
Tunasema bima ya afya sasa, nyinyi wale hamna uwezo mtalipa 300. Wale ambao hamna kazi, hamna mapato yoyote, serikali ya Kenya inaenda kuwalipia.
A crisis is looming in the health sector following threats by health workers to down their tools over what they have termed as failure by the government to address their demands, among them posting of interns. Nancy Okware reporting for Easy Friday, Nairobi.
Now shifting gears to Matters Education, where the Ministry of Education has announced plans to phase out diploma and certificate courses offered in public universities. According to Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu, the programs will be served for TVETs and other colleges. This as the House Budget Committee allocates 600 billion shillings in the financial year 2024-2025 to the education sector.
As part of raft measures aimed at boosting the quality of education offered in institutions of higher learning, the government now says public universities will soon cease to offer diploma and certificate courses. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu has added that all TVETs and other colleges have been sufficiently funded and equipped to offer those programs. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education has also confirmed that it is on course to restore the state capitation per child in secondary schools to 22,240 shillings.
We had gone down to 17,000 per student per year because of the very tight fiscal space that we are operating in and the economic constraints. But I think now, as a country, the economy is improving, and we undertake that we should be able to get the figures that were given, which should be given to each and every student, which is 22,240 for secondary and 15,040 for junior school.
And speaking separately, the Budget House Committee Chairperson Ndindi Nyoro said at least 600 billion shillings has been allocated to the education sector, with a reasonable chunk going towards employment of new teachers.
Katika bajeti ya 4.143 trillion. Ile pesa tumeweka juu zaidi over 600 billion shillings. Tumeweka kwa elimu ya watoto wa Kenya. Na nataka nitangaze nikiwa hapa Mogotio. Tukitekeleza hii bajeti, tunajua kuna walimu wetu wamekuwa interns katika JSS. Hao walimu wote over 25,000 JSS interns. Nataka niwahakikishie tunaweka pesa katika bajeti, waajiriwe kama permanent and pensionable, pia wao maneno yao ikuwe sawa.
Reporting for Easy Friday, I'm Joseph Wahungu.
Now, police in Migori are in pursuit of a man believed to be responsible for the death of his former employer following a confrontation. Reports indicate the man had been on suspension from work for 2 weeks. The victim was fatally stabbed during the altercation, which occurred as the businessman was opening his establishment.
Migori police are in pursuit of a man believed to be responsible for the death of his former employer.
A businessman alikuwa amefungua kazi yake kama kawaida, akaenda wakati anafungua mmoja ya wafanyakazi wake ambaye alikuwa amesimamisha wiki 2 iliyopita akakuja. Wakati aliingia kwa duka yake akabishana na huyu mfanyabiashara ambapo huyu mfanyakazi wake alichomoa kisu na akadunga mara 2 kwa kifua.
The man who showed up unannounced at his former employer's establishment brandished a knife and stabbed the businessman and later fled from the scene.
Ilikuwa ni wizi, angechukua pesa sababu huyo mfanyabiashara alikuwa na pesa kwa meza. So hatujajua ni kwa nini alidunga. But baada ya kufanya hiyo akatoroka towards Tanzania.
The motive of this attack is yet to be established. Elsewhere, police in Nyandarua have netted second-generation beer hidden in a residential house at Riverside Estate, Nyandarua West Sub-County, Oljoro Oro constituency. Confirming the incident, Nyandarua Police Commander Omar Arora, however, said no arrests were made during the raid, but the police are pursuing the owner.
Hizi tunasema ni sumu. Huyo mtu alikuwa ananiambia kuuzia wakazi wetu wa Nyandarua sumu, aweze kuamaliza kwa hii dunia. So sisi kama afisa polisi tumesema hizo mambo haitawezekana hapo Nyandarua, ndio tuweza kushika hizo pombe. Na mwenyewe ametoroka. But let me assure you and the rest of the Nyandaruans that tutamshika very soon.
Meanwhile, police officers in the Ikolomani constituency, Kakamega County, are holding a 17-year-old Class 8 student from Shihali Primary School for allegedly killing his 4-year-old female cousin, a kindergarten student. It is alleged that the student was killed and his body dumped in a nearby toilet.
Sasa jana vile nirudi kutoka kazini,
Nikakuja wakaniambia watoto wawili wamefanya nini, wamepotea. Nikauliza mama, wamepotea haje? Kaniambia Philip na Kilautia. Eti Philip alitoka na Kilautia akaenda na yeye huko juu. Kuanzia saa hiyo wajafanya nini? Wajarudi.
The family of the deceased claims that the suspect may have defiled the deceased before killing and throwing the body in the toilet.
Huyu kijana tulikuwa tumekosana na yeye. Huyu kijana alikuwa na simu. Nikamuuliza, wewe mtoto wa shule unasoma, simu umetoa wapi? Akaniambia, hiyo maneno ndio unachungusanga. Ukijua simu ni ya nani ufanye nini?
And with that, it's time for us to take a first break, but we will be back very shortly. Don't go too far. This is Easy Friday.
Haya, sisi ya kungoja kwenye star 570 hash kuna ploti na ni up to 1.1 million Kenyan shillings with a genuine title deed na inakungoja. Star 570 hash, bukana shake.
Welcome to Sensei Institute. Mahali skills zangu ni pesa mkononi. At Sensei College, practical skills is the definition. Accredited by the government and founded on a Christian background, Sensei College offers all-rounded programs that are tailor-made to enhance your skills and give you the future you desire. We offer courses such as interior design, fashion and design, hairdressing and beauty, hospitality courses, trailer driving and defensive driving, building construction technology, CCTV, solar and electrical installation, photography and video production, electronic courses, vehicle electronics and mechanic courses, agricultural mechanics, ICT, and many more. To enroll in any of our campuses in Nairobi and Nakuru, all you need is your national ID card. Mapema ndo best. Take advantage of our monthly intake. Come to kusort na skills. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
Yes, I am getting you loud and clear.
You will not believe your eyes when you see her. She is very masumbu.
The only time that I cry and fight my tears is when I peel an onion.
When you want my hand to jump out of my chest.
Don't worry, Kamene. I can always hold your heart whenever it decides to jump out of your chest.
Uyane, kwani wana moyo kwa mkono yako is? Yay! Shots fired!
My favorite faces. How are you all today?
Classmates.
Welcome back to Easy Friday. I am Shiksha Arora. All right, let's begin. Once again, remember, if you're watching us from wherever in the country, the hashtag is Easy Friday. Let us know where you're watching KBC Channel 1 from, at Shiksha Arora, at KBC Channel 1. For now, let's go directly to what's happening. As you can see, that is CS Ababu Namwamba, who is the Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Youth Affairs, Sports and Arts at the Soya Awards. That's the Sports Personality of the Year Awards live in KICC. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Very attractive package under our revised reward scheme for those who will excel at the Africa Games. We are also getting into areas like pension, endowment funds, affordable housing for our sportsmen and women, because we want you to live well, both while you are active and in retirement. That really is our agenda. This week, PS and I were in Kuresoi to lay to rest once again a great name in our sporting arena, the great Henry Rono, a man who broke 4 world records in 81 days, incredible feat. And every time we mourn one of our own, we are starkly reminded of the need to take good care of our sportsmen and women while they live. To give you bouquets of flowers when you can feel the scent. To honor you with housing when you can feel the warmth of the house. To put pesa mfukoni in your pocket when you can spend the money. And this government, led by His Excellency William Ruto, is determined to do exactly that. We wish you well. Those heading to the Africa Games, fly the flag well. There's also an Olympics here. Those headed to the Olympics represent the country well. And as we said a couple of weeks ago, at these Olympics, we will be dedicating our victories to our fallen heroes, especially Kelvin Kiptum and Henry Rono. So go run for Kiptum, run for Rono, run for the great names that have made Kenya so proud over the years. Congratulations once again. Let us keep it rolling. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is the CS Ababu Namwamba. Remember, he is the CS of Ministry of Youth Affairs, Sports and Arts at the Soya Awards as he speaks about, acknowledging Kenya's top athletes and sportsmen and women. Of course, we will be finding out who the winners are at the Sports Personality of the Year Awards later on. It's happening live at KICC as we speak. Now, moving on, opposition leader Raila Odinga now says that he is not exiting the country's political scene as he seeks to be elected as the chairperson of the African Union Commission, that's AUC. The ODM party leader argues that nobody can plan his political roadmap as he has been on the scene for several decades. Frederick Pasayo now reports.
The Azimio One Kenya Alliance leader Raila Odinga's second day of his Nyanza region tour took him to Bar Kalare Primary School, Game Constituency, Siaya County. The opposition leader was here to grace this year's Siaya County Agricultural Day. Odinga once again highlighted his case for the chairmanship of the Africa Union Commission, AUC. Odinga saying that his bid is not an end to his political career in Kenyan politics.
Finally, I've said that I'm around, I'm going nowhere. I am here with the people. And people support my quest to be the chairman of African Union Commission. I'm thanking them.
Leaders accompanying Odinga termed it ironic for their political nemesis to campaign for his AUC candidature.
Raila is not going to AU to meet some people's obligations. He's going there as a Pan-Africanist and a true Kenyan.
Thank you very much.
On devolution, the opposition chief said any attempts by the national government to interfere with the functionality of counties will face backlash from the opposition.
But there are many people who did not want devolution. Devolution had very many powerful enemies. And you have seen that devolution is actually suffering in the process of implementation.
We must make devolution work. The shilling has depreciated in value by over 30%. And you are still giving the counties the same amount that you are giving them almost 10 years ago. There is no way counties can progress if the value of the shilling has gone down, and yet you are giving the same money that you gave 3-5 years ago.
Pastor Frederick, Easy Friday.
Now, the International Wheelchair Day was marked with rising calls for inclusivity of physically disabled persons in governance and enhancement of access to wheelchairs. The Kenya Paraplegic Organization, in marking the day, called for the strengthening of laws to enhance access for disabled persons to get appointments within government institutions.
Friday morning in Kiambu at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, JKUAT, hundreds gathered to mark the annual International Wheelchair Day, aimed at raising awareness on the impact of wheelchairs on the lives of millions around the world.
We have so many PWDs that are educated in different levels and different courses, but those interviewers, they look at us and they just see that you cannot, they have a mentality that you cannot perform.
People with disability have rights, and these are human rights. So we must address their rights, not those things of handing them token and all that. We need now to recognize that people with disability need education, they need employment, they need support from the government. That is what we are looking at.
It is here that the founder of the Kenya Paraplegic Organization, Westlands MP T. Monyonyi, decried the slow pace in ensuring inclusivity of disabled persons in governance as well as access to public facilities.
Disability issues are not only domesticated in one ministry. They should be spread out throughout the government agencies. All ministries should have a disability policy on how to deal with people with disability, employment, on and on like that.
Similar sentiments were echoed by former Senator Dr. Gertrude Musuruve, who pledged to continue advocating for accessibility in all aspects of governance, from education, employment, healthcare, and public infrastructure.
So when it comes to implementation, this has not been done. But what we're appealing to the president is we want economic empowerment in order to break the cyclic nature of poverty.
It's possible to have a disability fund, just like we have National Research Fund, we have other environmental fund. Is it possible to accompany this bill with a funding agency so that the little effort that institutions like ours are making, we can have a bigger impact?
During the celebrations, the leaders also pledged to advocate for the establishment of Wheelchair Learning and Services Center in all the counties. It was also noted that an estimated 100,000 people are in desperate need for suitable wheelchairs in the country.
Now, the Kenya Meteorological Department has launched the first weather balloon to boost accuracy on weather forecasts. The 45 days project entails collection of upper air information on temperature, humidity, wind and speed, which will be of great use to farmers starting next year during the planting season of March to May.
Farmers will from 2025 access accurate weather dates for the planting season of March to May. The Kenya Meteorological Department is partnering with the University of Nairobi and the University of Oxford to enhance accuracy in weather forecast in the country.
It will be a focus for the whole country. So it's not only Nairobi, it's everywhere else. So every farmer will, benefit from it.
At the end of the project, the automatic weather station that will be installed at the site in Laikipia will be left at the disposal of the department to support early warning services and improve weather forecasting.
According to KMD's Deputy Director Charles Muga, the 45-day research project will end in mid-April. The research will entail the release of 4 balloons daily to the upper air to collect information on temperature, humidity, wind and speed.
So the balloon we have released now, after 1.5 hours, it will most likely burst. The speed tells us how far that air will carry the moisture away from us. The humidity tells us the amount of water that is available, which would go into clouds, and then from the clouds we get rainfall.
The philosophy behind all these projects is that to understand the weather, we need models. We need the forecast models of the atmosphere, but you also need the data of the real atmosphere and what's actually happening.
The project will also enable institutions to collect relevant data, crucial for understanding the impact of climate change on water security across Kenya, which has higher impacts on the arid and semi-arid regions. Ren International Easy Friday.
Now, the High Court has stopped Ren International School from expelling a pupil for an alleged indecent behavior. The same court also barred the school's management from disclosing the nature of behavior in which the student is being punished for to any third party. Take a look.
The court has given reprieve to a parent of a pupil at Ren International School who had been expelled for alleged wayward behavior. The parent had moved to the court citing discrimination in the manner their child had been treated at the prestigious school, which according to them bordered on profiling. The parent wondered why the school only singled out pupils from one sector of the society, yet the alleged crime was committed by a number of pupils. Elsewhere, the magistrate court will on 13th of this month determine the fugitive Kevin Adams Kinyanjui will have gotten legal representation for his case to proceed. The court was informed that Kinyanjui prefers to have his previous lawyer, John Ndegwa, who allegedly helped him to escape Muthaiga police station. Superintendent of Prisons in charge of documentation, Martin Onyango, dismissed claims that they have been denying Kevin Kang'ethe his right to get a new counsel. Ruth Homboy for Easy Friday.
All right, now moving on to other stories where residents of areas affected by banditry in Baringo have fled their homes. Bandits' attack in the region has left 12 people dead since the beginning of the year. Residents say despite the government mounting security operations in the area, the attacks have continued to claim lives and livelihoods. More on this and other stories in our County News Roundup.
Speaking in Mogotio, Area MP Ruben Kiborek said he will seek support of legislators in Parliament to pass a bill to allow the government to use the military to do forceful disarmament of arms in the hands of civilians to realize peace in the North Rift.
Tunahitaji sheria kule bunge ya kuweza kukubalisha KDF kufanya operation kule Baringo. Nitakuwa naongea na wajumbe wetu, tutakuwa tukilobby rais na watu wote tupitishe sheria kule bunge ndio tupate full disarmament na full operation kule upande ile ya chini ya Baringo tuweze kupata solution ya insecurity.
Meanwhile, the Kenya Women Teachers Association has unveiled a personal financial management app that will allow teachers better tracking and consumer spending of their pay and develop a savings culture. Teachers attending the event expressed hope, saying some mental health issues are fueled by financial challenges and poor financial management.
The key issue that we have discussed today is based on financial solutions for teachers, which is actually very much related to the mental health of our teachers, because we have come up through research, learned that a lot of mental health issues are related to financial issues. So CloudPay have come on board to help us provide these solutions for our members.
Listening to the facilitators, it is also going to give us some kind of financial discipline. What do I buy? Why should I not buy this? Because at the end of the day, I only need to borrow or take my advance when it is necessary.
Elsewhere, Cabinet Secretary Interior Ministry Kithure Kindiki has put perpetrators of violence on notice, saying they were part of those slowing down development.
They need to know that clearly nobody is allowed to commit crime hiding under politics. And for us, we are not looking even at the political affiliation of the offending characters. We are going to go with them after them impartially. And they should not try to think that we will consider anything else, except that they are organizing, financing, and inciting violence.
At least 100 students living with disabilities in Nairobi County have been urged to study courses that equip them for self-employment.
The fact that you are enabled differently does not hinder you to achieve what you can.
And training is talking to the industry,
so that we produce graduates who can transit into the labor market seamlessly.
Elsewhere, Kenyans have been challenged to tap into investments, especially in savings and credit cooperatives, to uplift their livelihoods at a time the country is experiencing economic hardships.
Japokuwa uchumi imedoreza, lakini ni kujituma na kujitolea. Lazima wewe kila mtu ajitolee na ajiekeze, ndio maana atakuja ku benefit in future.
And once members invest, they can be able to get returns, because we also give good returns on the share capital that members do contribute to the institution.
And the Office of Registrar of Political Parties has opened its new offices in Nyahururu town.
Using this platform, I'm asking the government of Kenya, because through the ruling administration of Kenya Kwanza, to really fulfill their promise in the manifesto that they shall fund the institution called the Office of Registrar of Political Parties to be able to dissolve the services in all the 47 counties.
And Chief Executive Officer, Water Resources Management Authority, Mohamed Shuri, has urged Kenyans to apply for permits for them to extract water from natural resources for irrigation.
So there's a social class where we don't charge. That's class A. So even class A, you have to come and register with us. You have to now, show your interest, you record, then we allow you to abstract. But by law, what I want to tell Kenyans is, by law, you cannot abstract water without any permit.
Finally, the government has been urged to be more deliberate in investing in the diagnosis, management and treatment of cancer in the country.
Lakini unajua hiyo hospitali ikijengwa iweke hapo bila equipments, bila machines za kusaidia wananchi, it is none and void. Ingaomba serikali itafute kama tunaweza kuwa na cancer center hata kama Lower Kakamega, then Upper Kakamega, isikuwe tu ni Kakamega town peke yake.
John Junge for Easy Friday.
Now, the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, that's IGRTC, now says it's in the process of gazetting 90% of the resolutions on the transfer of functions. Speaking in Nairobi during a session with the media, IGRTC Chair Kithinji Kiragu revealed that the remaining work will be concluded in due time, even as he called on all relevant bodies to join hands in ensuring that devolution is realized. Kiragu revealed that they have made major strides in ensuring they put to an end the 10-year back and forth between the two levels of government.
We are ready to gazette the 90% plus that we have resolved. The ones which we have not resolved, the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee is going with them to the National and County Governments Coordinating Summit of His Excellency the President and the Governors with what IGRTC recommends, and we hope they will come to an agreement. And we are happy because we believe the national leadership in the person of His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, understand and know and are working for devolution to be consolidated and to be deepened.
You cannot talk about the story of devolution without the media. And therefore, obviously, the media informs about what has been going on. And more importantly, the work that the media does is to facilitate public debate on issues of devolution.
When we are saying devolution is poised to die, have we done an analysis? Do we have a proper report on the implementation of functions by both the national government and the county government for us to say, function A, this was how it was intended to be implemented?
Now, a section of Mak community have begun processing indigenous herbs into beverage, applying knowledge handed down from father to son over generations. The community hopes that by infusion of the traditional botanicals into the beverage, they will be able to capture the essence of the Masai Mara, which is an ideal concept to market Kenya's vast tourist attraction and also to empower the community. Take a look.
The
Masai Mara is home to the wild beast migration. More so, the community that hosts this attraction is also recognized for its unique tradition and culture. As such, a section of Ma community members neighboring the northern section of the Masai Mara National Park are converting their vast knowledge of traditional and medicinal herbs into beverage.
Most of the local herbs, we use them as medicinal traits. Like, for example, the croton. Croton have got a lot of uses in the community.
This knowledge has been handed down from father to son for eons.
Hii inatengeneza mtu ukiwa unaumwa na tumbo, unachemsha hii, unakunywa, inaosha tumbo. Na unakuta kama hii inaitwa lipia, ni dawa tunatumia kama ukiwa na homa, unaweza finya, alafu unakunywa kama unaifuta, alafu unafungua. Sasa hawa wamekuwa interested, wakaitengeneza drinks.
According to Wilson Nampaso, a community elder, the use of locally sourced indigenous herbs and plants from the Mara makes a beverage ideal for the tourist market that troop to the National Reserve all year.
Kuna watu wengi wanatumia, kama pale vijijini watu wanaitumia. Wengine tuko na wale wanatupea hiyo dawa. Mimi kwa mfano, mimi niko busy, sipati time ya kwenda kutoa, ama sipati time ya kwenda kuchemusha. Yule mtu wako Manyata anatengeneza, ananiuzia. Sasa anapata kitu kidogo.
The Masai Mara have the most vibrant culture and the most amazing botanicals and plants, which haven't really been celebrated very much outside of their medicinal use. So we wanted to find a way to bring all of those things to life and hero them through a gin.
So far, the project has directly employed 30 community members who, among others, forage for the herbs.
The Masai will continue to forage the botanicals for us, and so we're working with the Masai Mara community, specifically in Enon Kishu in northern Kenya, to supply us with the botanicals and therefore give them income that way.
Locals like Wilson, who learned about herbs, says the move will open up the community to better revenue streams.
Tunapata wale watu wanakuwa expert, more experts. They go more deep. Wanatengeneza miti yenye wanachanganya mpaka wanapeana dawa ya ugonjwa zingine, kama tuseme wanakuwa na hata ya kansa. Mtu anasema niko na dawa ya kansa, na tumeona watu wamepona.
I'm Regina Manyara reporting from the Mara for KBC Channel 1.
Shamba ni mbili, yako ni gani? Kwenye star 570 hash. Every 100 shillings unayotumia kwa Lucky Game inakupa 1 entry point ya kuingia kwenye drum ya draw, ambayo inakupa fursa ya kujishindia moja kati ya shamba hizi mbili. Mwisho wa April namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings, na unapata title deed yako safi. Na mwisho wa Mei namtangaza mshindi wa shamba hili la 1.1 million Kenyan shillings, lori za mawe na mchanga. Ploti ndizo hizi. Dial star 570 hash. Title deed ndio hii. Vuka na shake.
Ili kupata mtu wa baraka kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza star 812 star 503 hash.
Wewe, ni kwa nini unafurahia vipaji ili asiye anayetoa? Kwa nini unapenda baraka, humpendi mtu wa baraka? Nauliza, ni kwa nini unapenda mchuzi wa papa ila papa mwenyewe humtaki? Ni busara kutambua kuwa ukimpata mtu wa baraka.
Kupata mtu wa baraka kama sikiza tune, bonyeza star 812 star 503 hash. Star 812 star 503 hash.
CAF Champions League brings together the best of the best in the African football scene this weekend. League, where legends rise.
Welcome back. Now, the Nubian community has lived in Kenya for more than 100 years, and over time, members of the community have preserved their culture and traditions. This week on My Culture, we immerse ourselves in the rich tapestry of Nubian culture, narrowing it down to a Nubian nikah wedding. Take a look.
At the heart of Kibra constituency, a Nubian nikah wedding is underway. The air is filled with anticipation and excitement as music plays Nubian melodies, setting the stage for the festivities. It commences with elaborate preparations, often taking place over several days. The women are seen preparing some of the Nubian traditional foods, including kisra or gurusa, which are yeast pancakes made from a mixture of wheat and maize flour, among other meals. Another group in a different section prepares different traditional foods like okra in beef, pilau, vegetables in groundnut paste, among other meals.
Tuko na chakula yetu kisira. Hiyo ni mchanganyiko ya unga ngano na unga ya ugali kidogo, inapikwa inakaa kama gazeti. Wengi wanafikiria ni gazeti, hiyo ni kisira. Na pia kuna inakuliwa sana na layu. Layu ni ile ni okra. Wengi wanaita okra, tunaita bamia. Hiyo ndio tunapika na nyama, inakuliwa na hiyo kisira. Na pia chakula ingine tuko nayo gurusa. Ukienda hapo nje pia utaoneshwa gurusa. Gurusa pia ni mchanganyiko hiyo ya unga ugali na unga ya ngano. Inawekwa inalala kuanzia jana usiku. Hiyo mkoroga hiyo chakula kuanzia jana. Sasa itapikwa leo. Itakuwa na ukali, uchachu. Hiyo ndio chakula yetu wa Nubi. Na hiyo pia utakula na kuna mboga inaitwa mulkia. Mulkia wengine wanaita mrenda. Sisi yetu ni mulkia. Pia kuna vile tunaipika, inakuwa inatereza, ndio inakulwa na hiyo gurusa. Kuna pilau.
As preparations continue, in a soft lit room, the bride sits calmly as the makeup artist prepares her for the big day. Among the artifacts where the bride is preparing are mats and pyramid-shaped kuta in the Nubian colors, which hold the bride's dress, perfume, shoes, among others. It is imperative that her hair is plaited, her hands and feet decorated with intricate henna designs.
Mshuka nywele na mshuka siku like jana kwa sababu ni tudogo sana. After kumshuka sasa, leo ni siku ya kuweka wadi. Wadi ni hiyo gold yenye inawekwa hapa kwa uso. Hiyo inafanya bibi harusi wetu akuwe unique sana, ndio vitu moja zile hautapata kwingine, utapata tu kwetu wa Nubi. Kama hiyo ya gold hapa tunaita wadi. Na hizi kala zingine tumeweka hapo ni beads, kuna ya yellow na white. Hiyo white na black huwa inatuonesha ya kuzuia jicho mbaya sana, kwa sababu siku ya leo ni siku ya furaha na watu wengi pia wanatamani, kwa hivyo hiyo inazuia sana macho.
And she is adorned in traditional attire with shimmering jewels and other details in creating the perfect bridal look.
Hiyo nguo yenye amevaa ya juu tunaita gemis. Hiyo ni nguo ya ndani yenye amevaa juu. Alafu ya chini yake hiyo yenye amevaa iko na umaridadi ya kila rangi hapo ni gurbaba. Hiyo inaitwa gurbaba. Sana sana huwa hiyo ndio mavazi ya Wanubi kuanzia kitambo. Hiyo ndio inatutofautisha na watu wengine. Inavaliwa shingoni, mkono na kwa miguu. na pia kuna ingine inavaliwa kwa kiuno. Msichana akienda kuolewa, hiyo ndio ile anavalishwa na iko na hesabu yake yenye anavalishwa nayo. Hii ushanga pia ni tofauti, ni mingi na pia iko na maana yake. Mwanamke akishaolewa, hiyo inatakikana huwa anavaa ni kwa sababu ya mapambo yake. Na pia tuko na leso top, yani ni kubwa yenye tunamzungusha nayo kwote. Hiyo ndio top.
In a different location, the groom prepares and is adorned in traditional regalia.
Hasa wale wazee wanapenda kuvaa kanzu, vijana wetu wanapenda kungaria suti, hiyo ni mavazi yao. Na bwana harusi kwa leo yeye anavaa joho. Anavaa kanzu ndani alafu kuna ile joho ya juu unavaa ya kukava asichafuke ama ni.
Kwa hivyo Bwana Yusuf,
he then heads to the mosque and after Dhuhr prayers, which are obligatory Muslim prayers at midday, after the sun passes its highest, a ceremony is held. It is a simple ceremony at which the bride does not have to be present so long as she sends 2 witnesses to draw up the agreement. Normally, the ceremony consists of reading from the Quran and the exchange of vows in front of witnesses for both partners. No special religious official is necessary, but often the Imam is present and performs the ceremony. He may give a short sermon.
Bibi harusi aendi huko ni wanaume wako na main family wa bibi harusi ndio atahand over bibi harusi kwa huyo kijana. Alafu wakitoka huko kuta ile ngoma ya tari, watakuja na tari mpaka pale bibi harusi yuko. Waingize bwana harusi kwa nyumba.
Following the men-only ceremony at the mosque, the attendees spill outside where they are met by a gathering of women adorned in traditional Nubian attire and accessories.
Siwa asa mavazi yetu ni kama ya bibi harusi, lakini ya bibi harusi iko bright sana white, lakini sisi tunavaa colors mingi kwa sababu sisi Wanubi waga tunakuwa watu weusi. Sasa tukivaa vitu colored at least ndio tunaona tuna pop na ndio furaha yetu.
This group joins the groom's entourage, which then sets off on foot towards the bride's home. Ululations and drum beats fill the air as the procession makes its way through the streets to the bride's home. On arrival at the bride's home, the groom is welcomed and ushered into the house where he finds his Nubian dashing bride seated on a mat and joins her. It is then that a Nubian ritual for bonding is performed and the groom showers her with gifts and unveils his bride's face, confirming it is her.
Kuna sherehe yenye tunaita ya gataraha. Kutoa msichana kutoka usichana, ana graduate anaenda sasa kwa uke, kwa mwanamke. Kuna gataraha, kuna vitu tunamfunga kwa kiuno, bwana harusi atakuja atazitoa. Alafu pia atamtengeneza nywele kidogo na unveil, atamfungua uso na pesa. As from hapa akimuona kuna maziwa na tende ama halua tutapatia, watakunywa, watanyweshana. Hiyo ndio chakula chao ya kwanza kama bibi na bwana harusi.
Following the ceremony, guests are treated to sumptuous meals featuring an array of traditional Nubian dishes, including kisra or gurusa, as well as okra and beef, pilau, among other dishes. Laughter and conversation fill the air as families come together to celebrate the union of two souls.
As from hapo, bwana harusi akipenda anaenda na bibi yake saa hiyo ama atatangulia mbele, bibi yake akuja apelekewe kwake baadaye. Ile time yenye yeye mwenyewe atasema nataka bibi yangu time fulani.
As the night wears on, the celebrations continue with music, dancing and joyous festivities.
Tunaita derira. Nayo derira bwana harusi naye atakuja na familia yake, sasa hiyo ni celebration. Na kuna mila yetu, kuna ile kitu kuna herbs zenye inachanganywa yenye atawekewa kwa kichwa, hiyo inaonesha ni derira, na yeye anawekwa kwa kiwanja, kila mtu anamuona, anajua ya kuwa ametoka soko. Leo ni siku tofauti, kila mtu ameshuhudia ya kuwa bwana harusi ameshaenda, ni wa bibi yake.
Jackie Wambiru, My Culture.
On KBC Channel 1, we are a TV station like no other. Get a taste of the best in entertainment.
Yes, indeed.
Feel the passion.
Will you promise me?
I swear that you will never lose me. I can't get married to you.
I'm sure you knew about it. That's why you're making fun of me.
Experience the drama.
Get out.
Who is the man in this one? And the laughter.
Hii wigi umevaa kichwani. Sio wakati tulikuwa tunapishwa tunapewa mheshimiwa.
Move to the beat.
We are live from Broadcasting House.
And get informed on the latest happenings. KBC Channel 1.
Wow.
We are the full package.
Oh, yes.
And Kenya's watching.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Ushaipata na ule mama anafanya kazi kwa Mama Feli?
Majabali hatuna shida naye, inakuaje amekuwa involved?
Huyo mwanamke ni kama mchawi.
Kuna evidence?
Na nikuulize, hii Biblia wewe unasoma, wewe inakusaidia kweli?
Haki usianzishe vita leo tafadhali.
Kama inakuaga inakusaidia, ungekuwa mke mzuri sana sasa.
Mambo yenu na Jenny imefika wapi?
Kila kitu kiko sawa. Next week pia inafanya mpeleke date.
Huyo jamaa wako anatafutwa na polisi.
This is a man you are ahead of a hill is in love with. You even got pregnant for. For all I care, he can rot in jail. Jane, what exactly are you trying to tell me? Pete is still seeing that woman. Unaye pia madharau yake imezidi sasa. Well, that's why I want to leave Pete for good. Hapana. Mwanaume hawezi kusnachiwa kama hataki. Kwani yeye ni kibeti? I just want my respect.
Now change gears now to business news. My name is Wairi Mujenga. Now the government is in the process of identifying potential international markets for Kenyan dairy products. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says the country's annual dairy production exceeds local demand, hence the need to export the surplus for farmers to supplement their incomes.
The government has introduced reforms to modernize the new KCC factories and expand its market share to build capacity for dairy farmers. The Deputy President says the initiative is part of the government's strategy of increasing foreign exchange earnings from dairy farming by exporting up to 1 billion litres per annum.
As promised by President William Ruto, starting this month, our farmers will earn 50 shillings per litre of milk. With an investment of 5 billion Kenya shillings for modernization of the new KCC, 50 Kenya shillings is just but the start as we look forward to offering our farmers more.
He also committed to ensure arrears owed to dairy farmers for milk delivered is settled beginning this month.
Pia nitamwambia waziri na watu ya new KCC, wale watu wameleta maziwa katika new KCC hawajalipwa miezi 3, by next week pesa yao ikuwe imefika.
The initiative will also see farmers benefit from additional milk coolers to increase milk quality and reduce post-harvest losses.
Lazima tushalishe chakula cha ng'ombe ama cha mifugo. The quality of feed contributes seriously to increased production.
If we do this, we'll be able to increase our milk from the 200 plus kilos that we are doing right now to at least 397,000 kilos that we hope to achieve if we do that.
The Deputy President made his remarks in Manyata during the Embu County Livestock, Dairy and Fisheries Exhibition. Ndutamo Kami
for Easy Friday.
Now, the opening of the Dongo-Kundu bypass has been pushed to May this year due to delays in disbursement of funds. The 24 billion shillings project was slated to be opened on the 12th of March this year, boosting business between Mombasa and Kwale counties. The project is 95% complete and is funded by Kenya and Japan.
We are here at Mombasa Southern Bypass, where the government is doing the flagship project of connecting Mombasa County and Kwale County, and at least connecting the Kenya and Tanzania. And we are at the Mwache Bridge, at the Dongo-Kundu area. We are coming up with what we call the Standard Beauty Control Bill, which is also mentioned in the Purupa Act, so that we can be able to seal the gaps of enforcement in terms of making sure that our built environment is safe. So after looking at our proposals, we are focusing on it being complete by the end of the year, so that we can be able to have an act which is helping the professionals and all the stakeholders to work together. It's not replacing the other acts, but it's a matter of collaboration and coordination.
The completion of the Dongo-Kundu bypass that is just behind me here is going to alter the socio-economic landscape of the coastal region. This project, among many others, are going to transform the face of Mombasa and its environs for generations to come. From Mombasa, I'm O'Brien Kimani.
Now, still in the coastal region, legislators are accusing the Nuclear Power and Energy Agency of being economical with information about the proposed nuclear power plant. The legislators say Kilifi residents are living in fear about how the project is expected to impact.
The plan to build the first nuclear power plant with generate 1,000 megawatts in Uyombo, Kilifi County, has drawn mixed reactions from residents, with some welcoming the project while others insisting it will pose danger to them and the environment.
The people of Uyombo would have wanted to know, where is this plant going to be planted? The people of Uyombo would like to know, are you taking the whole of Uyombo? Are you taking a few places or whatever it is?
The Nuclear Power and Energy Agency earlier this year announced that a feasibility study and environmental impact assessment will be done before the power plant is constructed. The Nuclear Agency assured the public that the views of all interested parties will be collected and put into the final report that will inform the decision to put up the nuclear power plant. But this has not dispelled concerns.
Is the country ready for a nuclear power plant? And number two, do we have the right site in Uyombo?
How can you conclude this is the most suitable place without a scientific study on its impact on the society and on the environment?
Kilifi residents are concerned that the Nuclear Agency was not offering finer details about the exact location of the project, exact land size to be affected, and the potential effect of the project.
Moving forward in this region, in this continent, it is the high time that we start confronting those fears that we face. It is the high time that we started confronting those technologies that we think would be viable and addressing those issues that we think they face as a community.
As a Senate Committee of Energy, we are going to listen to both sides and then we will submit a report. So we haven't finished. We have heard you and you've made a good case.
Alanoko, Easy Friday.
Now, the local manufacturers are calling for tax reduction in the 2024-2025 budget to lower the cost of doing business. Kenya Association of Manufacturers told the National Assembly Budget and Appropriation Committee that high tax is a burden to businesses, hindering the ability to invest, expand and compete effectively in the market.
That we really need a predictable environment, that even if we are bringing in any new tax changes, any regulatory changes, you must give businesses time to transit into that system. We are proposing to lower the cost of the tax administration systems I'll tell you, we are now engaging with some of the alcohol manufacturers, the micro distillers in Kenya, who, because of some changes in terms of the machinery that they're supposed to put in to help them measure what kind of quantities they're putting in. The systems within the Revenue Authority have not differentiated that they are large companies who can put big infrastructure and they are small companies. So we even have companies who've not started producing just because of some of these tax administration systems that are being put into place, which are quite expensive, and they don't consider some of these small companies.
Now, a dual technical and vocational education and training apprenticeship program has been rolled out, seeking to equip students in institutions of higher learning with on-job skills and then offering them job linkages. The program being implemented by the Kenya Private Sector Alliance under the State Department of Technical Vocational Education and Training seeks to ensure the training process is directly aligned with employers' expectations.
The dual training program bridges the gap between theory and practice while ensuring that trainees are equipped with the skills and competencies needed to thrive in the rapidly evolving labor market. The main focus of the State Department is enhancing industrial linkage as a way of supporting well-trained graduates equipped with industry-driven skills for the local and international labor market.
So we believe ensuring that young people have not just the skill, but relevant skills is so critical. We've been saying that, of course, knowledge is very important, but having a skill is no longer an added advantage. In fact, maybe having knowledge is now the added advantage, where the core advantage is you having a skill.
Well, that marks the end of business news tonight. My name is Wairi Mujenga. On the other end of the studio, we have Bernard Okumu with the day's sports. Good night.
Jinsi ya kungoja kwenye star 570 hash kuna ploti na ni up to 1.1 million Kenyan shillings with a genuine title deed na inakungoja star 570 hash ukana shake.
Yes, indeed. A very good evening and welcome to Easy Sports Friday. I'm Bernard Okumu. And President William Ruto has reaffirmed the government's commitment to upgrade various sporting facilities ahead of the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations to be co-hosted by Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda. Now, the head of state made the remarks while officiating the groundbreaking of the Talanta Sports City Stadium, one of the three venues earmarked for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations.
Kapteni Dr. William Samuel Ruto. President William Ruto revealed that the renovation at the Moi International Sports Center Kasarani will be completed by the end of the year, while Buhungu and Kipchoge will be ready by next year.
We have to start at the bottom, right down to the foundation, which is infrastructure development. And that is why this groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the Talanta Sports City is therefore another step up the ladder of our bottom-up transformation of our sport and creative industry.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Ruto made the remarks while officiating the groundbreaking of the Talanta Sports City Stadium at the Jamhuri Sports Club, one of the host venues earmarked for the 2027 African Cup of Nations.
I am in the village when I am here, and I am very happy that I have come to break ground in my former village to build a world-class stadium.
The head of state also said the government is committed to facilitate sportsmen and women in a bid to nurture upcoming talents.
So we are also imagining facilities in places like Mombasa, and we have made plans. I know there has been debate on the location of this project, and we have looked at Mombasa, and I'm glad to report to you, Your Excellency, that we have already prepared a plan to have a fitting facility in the coastal region.
Matches za Harambee Stars ziko kwa TV, matches za Harambee Stars ziko kwa TV, matches zote za ligi mbili kila weekend ziko KBC for free for all Kenyans, just from a small debate we had with you in March this year.
The Talanta Sports City Stadium is expected to be completed by the end of next year. For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
Elsewhere, Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba has called on different stakeholders to come on board and support sportsmen and women in order to develop sports in several parts of the country. Speaking during the Tujiamini initiative launch by betting company SportPesa, Namwamba reiterated that sponsorship is key in sports development.
Namwamba singled out the betting company for its commitment in sport development and for being the official sponsors of FKF Premier League sides Gor Mahia and Moranga Seals.
Revolutionary in the sense that it is offering a pipeline, a very, very deliberate, structured pipeline, going all the way to the grassroots, offering our young people an opportunity to showcase their talents, to grow those talents, to commercialize and monetize those talents.
He noted that when stakeholders come on board and work closely with the ministry, all sporting disciplines will grow in Kenya.
This really is in sync with our Talanta Hela initiative, which is about identifying, nurture, and monetize talents. This is in sync with our mantra of Pesa Mfukoni, offering our young people an opportunity to have sustainable livelihoods anchored on their talents. This is it.
SportPesa CEO Ronald Karauri revealed that the initiative seeks to evoke the feeling of pride among Kenyan sports lovers.
Kama kuna talent yote ya ball, kuimba, kama hata niyo kucheza chess, whatever talent it is, just please go to our platform, upload your video. SportPesa itakupatia exposure hujawahi pata, and you never know the future or what happens after that.
People participating in the initiative will be uploading the videos of themselves, identifying themselves, and will have a chance to be seen on a larger platform. SportPesa said a website will be unveiled soon where participants will be uploading such videos. Football clubs can use the platform to identify and recruit talented players. For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And to the forthcoming All-Africa Games, where Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba on Friday officially flagged off Team Kenya ahead of the 13th Africa Games set to be held from the 3rd to 23rd of this month in Accra, Ghana. The first batch of Team Kenya is expected to leave the country on Saturday morning for the Continental Games.
A total of 150 athletes are expected to represent the country in the upcoming assignment, with the table tennis being the first team to jet out Saturday morning. Team Kenya will take part in 10 disciplines, namely handball, volleyball, swimming, wrestling, weightlifting, cycling, among others. Sports Cabinet Secretary Ababu Namwamba said his ministry will fully fund and support the team.
Every medal you win is some very serious pesa mfukoni for you, besides the allowances that we have also enhanced for you while you're in camp and in competition. We are improving things for you because we value our sportsmen, we value our sportswomen. You are the goose that lays the golden egg.
This year's urged the team to surpass the last performance in 2018 in Morocco.
Team to medal
we are going there to compete, not just to be part of the race only. Yes, we'll try and enjoy it, but we are going to compete for the medals.
Tumejiandaa kabisa, tumetrain na niko na uhakika hata tukienda competition nitaenda kuperform vizuri. Hakikisho langu ni kuhakikisha tumeenda kuperform na kukuwa washindi.
The Kenyan teams have been camping at Kasarani Stadium ahead of the African Games. King Orimwangi, Foizi Friday.
And GSU headquarters men and women's volleyball teams emerged victorious in the 4-day GSU Intercompany Volleyball Tournament held at GSU Embakasi B campus. Now, the tournament attracted 23 teams drawn from different GSU companies. Sela Onyango reports.
Headquarters men's volleyball team thrashed F Company by 3 straight sets in a highly contested match to bag the title. Headquarters, who finished unbeaten, were also named the best team in the tournament.
A little lack of concentration because wachezaji wangu, then I didn't come on the tense. Yeah, because hajaifika final. I think this was the first time kwa kufika final.
I really appreciate the commandant for making this day come true, as in it's been long due. 15 years down the line, it is not that easy. Even these teams that they managed to come here, it was not that easy because they come from different parts of Kenya, and at long run they managed to come here to participate.
In another match, Headquarters women's team emerged victorious after defeating hosts Embakasi by 3-1 in the final. The 4-day tournament attracted over 20 GSU companies from different parts of the country.
The teams which have participated here, we will select the best amongst them to be injected as new blood to the volleyball team. And I know they will win again, not only nationally, but they will also win internationally.
The main aim of the championship is to unite the servicemen and to promote healthy living. For Easy Friday, I'm Sela Onyango.
And veteran rally navigator Job Njiru says a blend of youth and experience is key to Kenya's success at this year's WRC Safari Rally. Njiru endorsed young rally driver Saman Vohra as a potential standout performer, along with experienced stars Nikhil Sachania and Africa Rally champion Karan Patel. Vohra kicked off the Kenya National Rally Championship season by clinching victory in the Eldoret Rally. In addition to Vohra, Njiru also threw his support behind local driver Kafla Shtundo, citing his experience and skill as factors that could make him an exciting competitor to watch in the rally. The WRC Safari Rally Kenya will zoom off on 28th of March through to 31st of March in Naivasha.
Flying the Kenyan flag high would be Carl Tundo. I think he's up there. I think he's really going to take on the big boys. We have youngsters coming in like Saman Vora. I think he will be another good person to watch. And the two KCB drivers of Nikhil Sachania and looking at Karan Patel, I think always a bit of experience that they have, and they'll be good guys to sort of watch.
60 mètres droite 140, très long, pas corde.
Well, you're now in the know. That's how we wind it down for us on sports this lovely Friday. I'm Bernardo Kumu. Have a good night.
Thank you very much, Benj. And that brings us to a wrap for this particular edition of Easy Friday. Thank you so much for keeping it. KBC Channel 1, my name is Shiksha Arora. Good night to you. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and stay safe. Bye-bye.
In the name of Jesus Christ. Mungu anatarajia ukanyange hatua mbele. Wengine wametawaliwa na uchawi, wakati wao umefika. Wewe umenitazama siku ya leo. Neema na kibali cha Bwana kikawe juu ya maisha yako.
Shamba ni mbili, yako ni gani? Kwenye *570#.